Today on Ask the First Selectman, we're talking about traffic in town. And John Zagrodzky, our guest on the program, obviously. Let me ask this question. You were in favor of the town budgeting money to work with a company that will anonymously track cell phone users as they drive around in town to gauge traffic patterns. Have you received any data yet? Is there anything you've seen with this information that you find useful for planning for traffic in the future?
Great question. So the appropriation for doing that work with that company is effective July 1st. And I should actually have the contract signed next week. So we will have those guys on board and signed up right on July 1st when we have access to those funds. So premature yet, but let me just describe what we're going to get. So the name of the company is called Placer.ai. And what Placer.ai does, as you said, Jim, is they provide anonymized cell phone location data. And some of you may have seen this very cool map that came out, and it showed in dot representations all these cell phones coming down from Connecticut and into Grand Central Station in New York, and then would go out to all the different offices. And you could see this flow of thousands and thousands of people going about their day and visualize exactly how many people and when they were traveling and all of that. What's interesting is there's a lot more data that's behind what you saw there. You can get demographics such as income breakdowns. You can get kind of where these people live. You can get where they were before they came to a location, where they came after. In fact, Placer.ai did a study on Cherry Lawn Park when they were trying to convince us to invest with them. And they could tell longitudinally over time, and we'll have access to that data. They could tell how many people were at Great Island, where they were, or excuse me, Cherry Lawn, where they were before they came to Cherry Lawn, where they went after they were at Cherry Lawn. Were they Darien residents or not? And you can think about using that kind of data to look at, for example, post-road traffic, since everybody's concerned about that. My theory, let's see if the data prove this. My theory is that a lot of post-road traffic is actually coming from Stamford and Norwalk. If you've looked at the pace of residential development in those towns, it's crazy, the amount of housing they're building there. How much of this traffic that we're seeing here is actually by Darien residents versus traffic from those two towns crossing in between? And you wouldn't blame them. Sometimes I-95 is completely jammed up. They have no choice. And I think once we use this data, it's going to give us some insights, not just on park access, but where the heck is all this traffic coming from? And that might inform some actions that we could take. I would stress to everybody that this is anonymized data. Nobody should be worried about privacy concerns. This just shows us in general where people are coming from, where they're going, what towns are they, that type of thing, to give us a generalized view of where there are sources of traffic and people in this town. So I'm looking forward to it. Again, we should have insights pretty shortly. We just got to get trained up on their databases, and we will have access to all of that next week. So stay tuned.
Excellent. John Zagrodzky, our guest on Ask the First Selectman. If you have a question for John, send it along to us and we'll ask it on your behalf. Just email us at darientv79 at gmail.com.